fucking software nobody uses, right? It's not even. It's supposed to be a learning aid for binary and computer logic.
This is called JFlap.
This is JFlap. If you know what it is and you like it, don't talk to me. Like, don't even come anywhere near
Great.
me. Like, just please.
Great. Our 5 viewers are all left now. Thanks.
Yeah.
They were waiting for you to say JFlap's the
Yeah,
shit.
they were waiting for me to rag on that one niche software that nobody
Dude,
uses.
ever heard of JFlap? Love it. Dude, those 5 followers are fucking on it now. Nope. Great.
They're
Thanks
gonna
for
get in the
Thanks,
comments.
Kendall. Back to 0 followers.
They're gonna flame me now.
You have a weird question to start.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna miss school?
Fuck no. Fuck no. No. Why would I? You couldn't. Listen, if
No, the real world is.
No. If they weren't holding my diploma for ransom, right? I would not be coming back here.
You should word it like this. Are you ready for the real world?
Yes, I'm entirely. The only thing in
All
my
right,
life.
we're gonna put you on MTV's Real World. We're sending you to Cabo for 6
That's not
months.
real world.
What scared straight.
Fuck you. You know, my mom one time was all like, "Yo, maybe I'll put you on Scared Straight." And I looked her straight in the eye, and I was like, "No." I looked her straight in the eye. And I was like, "Those kids rob their parents and sell the money at a fucking pawn shop so they could buy drugs. Your kid gets bad grades. Get the fuck out of here."
They always did that where it was like 4 of the 5 kids did some fucked up shit, and then the 5th kid was just like, I disrespected my mom.
Right.
You know, it was like, my mom told me to do my laundry, and I said no.
Right. It was like the control-
That kid gets the worst of it.
Yeah, because what the fuck do they know about that life? They're showing up, they're like, when you get into prison, your butthole's mine.
That dude's like, I'm sorry, dude. I said sorry to my mom the moment she said that.
Right. He's like, I do my laundry for the rest of it. Like, that's pure, like, you're traumatizing
That one was targeting
children.
the demographic of you.
Right.
That's a you demographic.
But like, also, by the way, if you're a parent and you watch Scared Straight with your kids, you're just basically you're just outsourcing the trauma. Like, you're just like, I don't have the time or energy to traumatize my own kids, so we're just gonna watch TV and they'll be traumatized that way. Like, what the fuck?
I think like most of those guys in there too weren't even like really trying to like, except for the kids that would fucking fight back and thought they could take on fucking 10 prisoners. Like, come on.
They were like, I'll fucking take you all.
But the ones that were like really remorseful, they were like, okay, we have to put on the act, guys. All right, get your scary faces on.
Yeah.
Like Monsters Inc. shit. Like,
You're right.
all right, once that door opens, we got to do our scares. We got to get our fucking points
They're
in.
fucking like this close to the kid's face.
Johnny, you're on the scare board. Atta boy.
You right? Like, yeah, he was all like, I really don't give a shit. Kids make mistakes. This happens.
Well, he was like, I didn't even say anything wrong unless you guys were doing.
Right. We played like we could have been out fucking gangbanging, doing some bad shit. No, we were playing basketball in a gym.
The only thing we did wrong was we didn't have anyone like a parent supervisor.
Right, that was it. Like, we were on a school campus playing basketball at like what, 7 p.m. Ooh, wasn't even that big of a deal. But to answer your question, my thing about work is this. About the real world is at least this. I have like a 5 things, and I say 5 because I really only know 1, but I'm assuming there's probably 4 other problems that I've yet to really address that I just need to get in control of, or at least ahead of, because the biggest thing right now is I don't wake up on time. So when people are like, yo, you got to do this thing by this time so we can, like my interview, right? I had an interview on Thursday. My biggest concern
Who's not making it?
was not waking up on time for the interview. It was at noon.
Did you already have it or it's coming up?
I had it already.
How'd it go?
It went good. It went really well.
Sorry.
No, it went really well. I was charming and they liked me and everything. But the problem is this. They were
Hit him with the Raz.
what? No, like their issue is like they're like, so what do you like? I knew how to do everything they were asking me about, right? Like it's very simple, not very simple, but it's kind of complicated. But I'd be working on like prototype design, right? So
Yeah.
I just have to have the idea. Their main concern for me was I had been in school for so long, so I'm used to the structure of it all, right? Where it's like they walk in, they tell me what to do, they give me a due date to do that thing. I go home, I work on it, I submit it. Yeah, autonomy. No,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So the job they interviewed me for is completely like you're working. You're who you're in charge. You're in charge of yourself.
Like you just know the end date, and then you gotta like mentally prepare like this. By these dates, I should have this much done or whatever.
Right. Like, and even past that, it's like they don't have like they're not like this is what it needs. They basically are like this is what we need. Right. Figure out how you want to get that done. So if you need parts, if you need, software, if you need things you need us to buy, you need to create a form, come to us, tell us to buy it. We'll buy it for you. We'll have it delivered. You go to the lab desk. And I would have a second intern as my partner. So I'd be software and my partner would be hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just be the two of us collaborating to build a prototype. And then by the end of the summer, by like end of August, we would have at best have for like a prototype like showcase sort of deal. So like he would have like the bare bones of what the satellite would be, and I would have like a demonstration on a laptop of how the software would work. So like their main concern was just like, do you have any experience in basically showing up to a job and just figuring it out? And I was all like, actually, I do. What?
I do.
Right. It was like, I do. I had to do that for my last internship where I had no web design or regular expression knowledge or anything about servers or how they work or anything. And guess what? I figured it out and I just rolled with it from beginning to end. And they were like, great. So I should be either hearing back from them next week or I need to look for another job. But I like my big thing about being an adult, being out of school is just the fact that like there's just some things that come into being consistent that I don't have already. Like I can be consistent, but I need to raise the level of my consistency is effectively all I have to do. So like right now, if you ask me to do something, I can get it done. I'll probably need a little bit of wiggle room because it's not going to get done perfectly, but I can get it done. If I could just, get discipline in my life, then y'all know I don't have no discipline. Why would I? Because I've never needed it to handle like what I got going. I haven't needed. I mean, I do need it. I just haven't ever used it. What?
Also, I think there's a difference to.
How did you get through school? Not discipline?
No, I don't need it. What? Plot armor. 10 ways to Sunday.
There's also a difference where it's like school is like, okay, if I don't pass this class, I just take it again. Work is like, if you fuck up enough, they gonna let your ass go.
Right.
You're not getting no recs for another job.
Right, but like going back to that whole plot armor thing, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but like, so whenever I have something and I'm freaking out about it, my brain will just go, okay, 10 seconds. You get to use me to your full capacity for just 3 days. And then that end of that 3 days, I'm fucking useless to the world. But during those 3 days, I just piss gold. It's just like I'd get things done on the first try, exactly how I needed to work. But after those 3 days, if you asked me to add 1 + 1, I'd give you 5. So that's where I'm like, that's how I got through school. Like it would be like, oh, the due date is approaching, deadline mode, and I would fucking.
It's just what it's like.
out
You're
gold.
talking not needing discipline to two people who have genuinely based their life off of discipline.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
My dad literally joined me in activities. He's like, just so you learn discipline.
Yeah.
I learned I had discipline, and then I got out of high school, and then discipline was upon a distant like breeze in the wind.
This guy got a taste of freedom out of school for a minute
Yeah,
and went, I don't need anything anymore.
literally. I got out of high school. We started going to the beach at fucking 10 p.m. on random days of the week, and I was like, "This is what life should be like. This is what my life should be like every day for the rest of
And
my
guess
life."
what? After like a month, we all started realizing that this isn't real.
Now, y'all started realizing that this wasn't real. I was living the fantasy.
I still went to work. I was
Right.
working at that time.
I was working with you. Sometimes.
Discipline.
I mean, again.
Did you
see,
show up? That's
Most
discipline.
of the time. Most of the time.
You were mostly
95% of the time I showed up.
That's pretty good for him, though.
That is, like I said, wiggle room. Give me that 5%. Like, look at me and go, hey, listen, 95% is still passing, my guy. Like, if you're looking for 100% of me, I'm sorry, my guy. But that's gonna take a long time for me to be able to give you that last 5%. You know what I mean? It's the threshold. I can give you 95% up front.
He's
You
like, that's
want-
an A. I'm good.
Right.
Done. Nailed it.
Right. Like, I could give you that 90. Like, fucking, the truest testament to who I am as a person. In the class that I just failed, right? We had to take the final. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
there are two parts to the final. Part one was an essay thing. Got one attempt. You fill out the essays, you submit it, you hope for the best. Part two was multiple choice. You get 3 attempts, right? You could get perfect score guaranteed. I took it one time. I got 47 out of 50. I went. I was like, I don't need those last 3 points, and I moved on. But a disciplined person would have been like, no, I could get those last 3 points. They might matter.
You need to get, discipline is everything. I
Right.
think. They get your sleep in. They get your diet right.
Yep.
They get you.
Working out again.
Exercising?
Yeah.
I think Mike Tyson said it. He was like, discipline is doing the shit you don't want to do, but you just do it anyway.
Yes. I mean, and I need that shit. Me and Kathy have been busy the last 2 weeks, right? We've been walking around. I have never noticed how out of shape I am in my life since these past 2 weeks. All we've been doing is walking around, right? Maybe walking 2 miles in a day. That's it. We went to Monterey Bay Aquarium, right? I wanted to get a little, and look at the fishes.
Sure.
We walked there. We walked to the aquarium. We walked around. We stopped at a pub, got some food, walked back. We got home. I collapsed. I was like, my legs, my goddamn legs. So that's what I need. So that's why I think if I could just get discipline in order, whatever that looks like for me.
This is your main, like, if this is a video game, this is your main quest right now.
the
Get your
quest for
sleep right.
discipline.
Get your diet right. Exercise. Things will
And-
start fucking automatically falling in line for you.
And honestly, the diet and exercise thing also all correlate to sleep
Yeah.
because
100%.
if I
If you wake up late, you're just gonna grab whatever's there.
Right. Especially when you're waking up and half your day is already gone because you woke up at noon or you woke up at like 1 and you're just like, cool.
You
All right.
don't gotta be like Steve or me where you wake up mad early. Just wake up at 9.
Right. That's my goal.
That's
I'm not
been-
trying to be like
That's
y'all.
been mad early for me lately.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, if Steve were to work at a bar, like,
Yeah, right.
You don't
But
have to
Steve's
wake up.
day is like
flip.
skewed. Yeah. Like most people start their day at
If it's on a graph, we're translating it with a 90-degree rotation.
yeah, basically. Like it's like all the way over there. Right? Like his day needs to start at noon so he can be ready.
My
Oh,
day
not
starts
even-
at 9, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like,
My
I'm
day-
still up there with the fucking. I'm still in the trenches with everybody. Just
Not this
I'm just
bad.
not there with the 5 a.m.ers.
Nah.
But rotate it back a little bit, dude. I'm up at 4. Fuck you all.
I could not. I think if I could just wake up at 9,
Yeah.
I see. Like I look at it every day. Like I wake up and I go, man, it's already 1. That means I could have gone grocery shopping, could have cleaned the house by now,
Yeah.
and then I would not have had to do anything after this point because I don't have a job right now, right? So I could be working, looking into my classes.
Maximize the quality of your
Right.
time,
I
dude.
could be genuinely
Maximize your time.
This is how bad I am at discipline, right? When just this last semester, this is how I would gauge my day. I'd be like, did I do 8 hours of total work or 8 total hours of work? Yes, I'm good. I don't have to do anything anymore, even though I definitely did. But like,
If you start to look at time as a currency, your whole world will change.
yes, but you know how I treat money.
No, like,
But this is the thing.
if you think about it, like, if you're buying a sandwich, you're like, this is like 3 hours of work or some shit, or like 2 hours of work.
Yeah. Or like, have you guys seen that chart about the Big Mac? In 1980, 1 hour of work would have bought you like 6 Big Macs, but now today 1 hour of work buys you 0.9 of a Big Mac. But I get what you're saying. I know that was a little side note. 0.9, basically, you need to work 2 hours to afford 1 Big Mac.
Oh, expensive as a Big Mac.
Big Mac now, so minimum wage is what? 17? A Big Mac, I believe, or no, federal minimum wage. Think about federal minimum wage. 13, right. A Big Mac is $16
A Big Mac is
or
$16?
$14 for the meal.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude,
When I go to McDonald's to buy me and Cassie food, I'm walking away from there with like a $27 bill.
Bro, what happened to
They took it all away. Remember, they took away the dollar menu. And then they had the 2 for $2.50 thing going on, or no, the
Dude,
2
you're
for
spending
$5.
$27 on shit food.
Not regularly.
You want to hear something crazy? I spend $25 a day on all my meals,
That's amazing.
and it's healthy. And it's, I mean, I eat red meat,
Right.
but you know what I mean. Like it's a whole ass meal. It's not just a fucking
Listen,
shit burger.
listen. All right, listen.
$27?
27. I don't go to McDonald's like every week. I go like
But I'm just,
once every couple of weeks.
but it's an efficiency thing though, right?
It
Like,
is.
because the same thing. Like, I'll go out and eat, and I know that the bill's gonna be like $30, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But like, I would say 5 or 6 days out of the week, I'm killing it. I'm like, I go to Safeway or I'll go to a grocery store, I'll buy my meal, and it's literally like what I have to pay out of pocket that day is like $20.
I know. I've been.
And I have 2 whole ass, heavy ass meals.
I want you to know I've been like, have you guys seen those posts where it's like you driving to work at 5 a.m., right? And it's you on the freeway, and then you look out the window and it's like that one unemployed friend doing something completely wild, like doing whatever at 5 a.m. That's me right now. I spend in the past, I think 3 days I spent $200 just on food and random shit that I feel like doing. And I need to stop. I have a nice nest egg because school came to me and was like, "Oh, we forgot to give you the scholarship or something, so here's some money." But like, listen, I know me and Cassie haven't done dishes in like weeks because our dishwasher is broken, and our fridge, we have not had food in our house for the same amount of time because we're like, oh, we need to go grocery shopping. Or we could just DoorDash because Cassie can afford it. But like, yeah, if I could get my sleep in order, I could actually just get basically so much of my life at the level I want it to be at.
Yeah. Again, if you look at time as money, time as a currency, you'd spend it better.
I mean, I think that's the other issue, right? So when it hits midnight, I start to look at money like a currency, but I like to spend it doing things I would rather be doing.
Like sleeping?
No, like playing video games and Magic and shit like that, because I know when I wake up in the morning I have to do adult things.
Well, again,
And
that's the
then-
same
then-
thing as money, right? Like if you had the money, you would rather spend it on fun than you would on responsibility.
Right.
But you have to stack your responsibility, and that's the same with time, right? Like I have to be responsible. I work 5-6 days a week. Yeah, like 5. But anytime I have, and everything else I do with my time, it's an investment. I see it as an investment. I invest my time when I go to the gym. I invest my time when I go to Safeway and I buy the steaks that I'm gonna buy and eat. I invest my time when I cook. I invest my time when I'm doing laundry, keeping my room clean. Making sure my car's good. And then that way, like if I keep investing that time, the returns are I can go to Tahoe and go snowboarding on a day.
Yeah, but like after how long?
Not that long, dude. I'm going again in like 2 weeks. Be the third time that I've gone in the last like 2 months. But again, it's a long-term investment though, right? Like I've been doing this shit for like solidly, like consistently, I could speak on since August. I've been on my shit. If I wasn't, and I was just blowing money like I used to always do,
Yeah.
I would have no chance of going. Dude, I had to buy, like, just to do the snowboarding shit, I had to put down a lot of money just to fucking do that because I had to get all the gear.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, if I was terrible with my time management and my fucking money, like finances, and it's one of those things, I am not the greatest at fucking keeping my finances together either. Like, I really am not. More so than most, I would like to think, but even within my own realm, like, I'm not great at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if I can manage my time well, then I'll manage my money well. And that's how it's been working.
But like again, I mean, like I know what my life looks like when I do actually manage my time well. And I admit it is nice sometimes, right? Being able to wake up at 9, get all those things you need to really like work on out of the way. So that way when 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hits, I can basically go now. I can enjoy my time and be in bed on time to go do whatever. But what happens more likely than not is even like on the days where I do wake up on time and I am efficient and I am, using my time very well and everything. 5 p.m., 6 p.m. hits and I'm like, cool, now I can just relax, play my video games, whatever.
Sure.
And then midnight hits and I go, I should stop so I could go. Because again, I only sleep for 8 hours. It doesn't matter when I fall asleep. My body now does only sleep for 8 hours.
You say only, like that's not enough.
No. It is enough. It is enough now. I've caught up on my.
You just went, my body only sleeps. I'm gonna exaggerate it for you. My body only sleeps for 8 hours.
Is that what I sounded like?
No, not at all. That's the exaggeration I'm throwing on it now.
I mean, yes. Okay, but think about it this way also, right? There was a long portion of my life where I was sleeping 10, 12 hours.
Jesus.
10, 12 hours.
It's half the day.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'd fall asleep at 1 and I'd wake up at 2. Like
Jesus Christ.
It would
dude.
be a
How
whole
does-
I
thing.
don't know if I've ever gotten that much sleep before.
My body doesn't let me.
Yeah, same.
Mine does.
Must be nice.
It is nice. But like for instance, last night I went to bed at 4 and I woke up at 11. So
7.
7 hours.
All right.
Not bad.
Right.
That's solid.
Yeah, that's a solid amount of time. And I naturally woke up.
No,
at
the
11.
hours that you're sleeping at
It's true.
are
Is right.
garbage.
That now it's like again, it's so you know how yours is like at a 90-degree angle, mine's at like a negative 90-degree angle, where it's like it could be if I could just.
That's the thing
fix
is
it.
like the way your life goes too is like my body's really used to this to going to bed at like 3 or 4 now. So like that's quality for me. If it's anything later than that, I feel like dog shit. Even if I get quantity of hours,
Yeah.
But
Nah, not me.
for something like for someone who's a day walker,
those goddamn daywalkers.
like 4 a.m. is like that's you're literally running into it. It becomes this shift in mentality, right? Because 4 a.m. to you is a morning. 4 a.m. to me is the end of my night.
yeah. 4 a.m. But like 4 a.m. to me is like ooh.
Yeah, you're like,
Bedtime.
damn, dude, I should have been up at. I gotta be up at 9.
Yeah, I literally do
I
that.
should have been.
I'll be playing Magic on Cassie's iPad, and I'll be like, "What time is it?" And I'll scroll down mid game. I'll be like, "Oh, it's 4:30."
Let's
Got
finish this game and get one more
Right, I'd
in.
be like, I gotta be up in 5 hours. Okay, keeps playing, and I'll end on a loss. I'll be like, now again, I shouldn't really care about Magic that much. I might have to delete that app just for a couple months for me to get my life in
Just
order.
put a timer on it. You could do that.
I can, but I won't.
Discipline.
And there's the story of my life. Can I do it? Of course I can do it. I can do anything I put my mind to, but will I do it? Now
you
that's
were
the
talking
question.
earlier. You know what you sounded like? You sounded like Buddha seeking enlightenment without having to go through the suffering.
Yes.
You're like, I just want that enlightenment part. Buddha said you don't have to suffer to get there, so let's see if he's right. That's
Right.
essentially you in a nutshell.
Like, no, my entire life, I mean it from like literally, I think the moment I achieved consciousness to today has been me going like, if I just continue stumbling, like theory, like probability theory and everything like that says eventually I'll land on something good. And I do most of the time.
I've been fucking with like probability theory so hard lately.
I
Like subconsciously. Subconscious now. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, if I'm 1% of this, like the odds of that are ridiculous. Cause it's one of those things where you're like, okay.
Can you see my feet also? Or are they out of the frame?
It's one of those things like, so Magic. Let's say you're let's say there's a ranking in the Magic game you're playing online.
Which is
You're top 100, whatever. You're in the top 100. Let's just say.
yeah.
Are you?
No.
Okay. Well, let's just say for argument's sake, let's just say that. Yeah, and this is where probability theory fucks with me a lot because like you could, and this is why statistics are bullshit a little bit
Why?
because you can go, okay, I am top 100 out of the let's say 1,000 people that play Magic, so you're in the top 10%, right?
Yeah.
You're in the top 10%, but out of the 8 billion people that exist, now I'm doing 10 over 1,000 over 8 billion. Dude, I am in the 0.001% of top Magic players in the world.
Yes.
You know, now you're the probability stacks in your favor if you start expanding outwards like that.
Yeah, if you start like achieving more and like you raise your level, right? Like then yes, you do become your probability is very greatly in that favor.
And then that dives into like existentialism and nihilism because then you go two ways of thought here. You go, I'm either so unique in this world that I'm magnificent, or you go, it
Where I'm
never
at.
mattered ever because it's such a small probability.
And I am definitely on the whole like so unique, I'm magnificent sort of level of life. Like, I mean, actually, I was, and I feel like though that's a thing for everybody. You know, like I feel like at least a solid number of people are out there right now who are probably like achieving like average, but are also out here like nobody can do it like me.
For sure. I mean, that's like the gym in a nutshell for me. I'm like, dude, I'm in that like with that and people who work out, I'm in the top 1%. But in the world, that 1% now is just fucking like skyrocketed to like 1/1000th, 1/10,000th of a percent. I'm in that category if we fucking take on the world.
If you take on, yes. But if you're like me, when you're like probably in the top, 70, maybe, maybe if I'm being nice to myself, probably top 50%, right? Then when you take it to the whole world, I'm still sitting dead center in the middle, but I still feel like a god. I mean,
See, and that's the thing. That's why the mind is the most powerful thing, man. Because like that can make you get into that god complex level. You always like to dabble in.
I do love the dabble in god complex things. Like I feel like it's weird that I have like I think I have the most balanced sense of doubt and sense of what's the opposite of doubt?
Grandiose.
Confidence.
Grandiose.
Did you say irrational confidence?
Grandiosity.
Grandiosity.
I
I mean,
mean, you're irrationally confident.
yeah, you're not wrong.
So,
I have a very solid balance of both those things.
so you have a lot of. So what being grandiose, grandiosity. I don't know if that's a word, but trademark.
Welcome to the Couch Surfing Podcast. Today we're creating new words for
I got my Shakespeare shirt on. Come on,
the dictionary.
Grandiosity. It is feeling larger than life.
Main character.
Yeah.
Which I actually do not. I
It's-
don't want to be a
it's-
main character.
It's next level. It's next level main character energy.
I know.
Show the tank.
It is main character energy. Because here's the thing about main character energy.
Rude.
If
Yeah.
it's this fourth wall breaking now, where you're the main character. That's essentially what this guy is like.
No.
Oh.
I'm not the main character, but like I'll say this: when I envision myself in those worlds, I am either two things. Sometimes I'm the main character, but like main character in the aspect of like I show up, I start the show, but in reality, y'all are taking it home. You know what I mean?
Is the main character's best friend.
Right. Or what I would love to be is that old dude that's just like the main character walks up there like, yo, are you that master or whatever? Yeah, like Master Roshi, where it's like, yo, I'm the main character, and I go, good. Time to kick your shit hit until you become worthy of that title. But I have no expertise to be able to talk about that.
You're just the guy that goes, you see the main character and like, you ain't strong. And the guy's like, fuck, he's right.
No, I
And
wouldn't.
then that guy gets on his fucking shit, and then you go into Dragon Ball Super where you see Master Roshi now, and you're like, oh damn, there's a gap there.
No, but like,
But he'll still put in his work.
I wanna be like the like the captain of the head captain in Bleach, the fire guy, right?
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. I want to be Yamamoto. Like I don't want to show up like all the time to basically be like, you listen, I am that guy. Like watch me. I want to show up maybe 3 times and then probably die on the 3rd
Well,
one.
here's the thing. No, wait. What you pitched earlier was definitely Dragon Ball, though.
Yeah.
Because you're like, in the original Dragon Ball, Master Roshi was super relevant.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then Super, he was super irrelevant.
Yeah. Like I want to be, but like, yeah, I want to be Master Roshi, where it's like, listen.
Either that or he's Krillin.
Same thing. That's the second one I was
Same
gonna
thing.
be.
Dragon Ball, he's relevant. Dragon Ball Z, he's less relevant, but he still has like, he's side character support.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Super, he's just comic relief.
Yeah. Well, Krillin or Masaroshi? Or
Krillin.
both. Yeah.
Well, Yamcha's just straight up just. Yamcha was comic relief from the get.
I love that. Have you seen that post where it's all like, can you imagine having your ass beat so hard it resonates throughout the whole anime multiverse? Because they take that scene where he's just in the crater like this, and they put it in every single show now. Whenever anybody gets their ass beat, like just straight disrespectful. Now I don't want to be Yamcha, but the way I've been living my life, I am currently Yamcha.
You had your shot with Bulma, bro.
What?
You started watching anything new? I heard One Piece is.
One Piece is finally. I'm waiting for Gear 5,
dude.
and then I'm gonna binge that whole season.
Oh, you're not.
I'm caught up in the manga. Do you wanna? I'm caught up in the manga. I'm waiting for the anime to finally reveal Gear 5, and then I'm gonna go start at the beginning of the Wano arc and binge the entire thing.
Jeez,
I mean,
that's
like I
such a
said-
long series. That was as long as Thriller. I don't know if it's as long as Thriller arc, but it was long.
I mean, again, I am.
It was a good. It was a great
I
arc
am that
though.
unemployed friend. I am that unemployed friend. I got the time.
And this is why your sleep schedule is dog shit.
I mean, you just go watch anime. It's not shit. Sleep shit.
I don't watch anime.
You can't. You can't. So here's my thing about.
Here's the thing.
Like,
Well-
do your shit from 9 to 5.
Okay.
5 to, like,
Watch it on Crunchyroll. It's 21 minutes.
Yeah.
And how many episodes is in Wano?
At least 100. At least. They've been on Wano
You
for.
gotta do it 1 week.
They've been on Wano all year. They've been releasing an episode every week, aside from the 2 weeks they take a hiatus for like the past year. I think they actually started Wano during the pandemic.
That's 100 days. Right. Let's say it adds up to 2,400 minutes
Yeah.
divided by 24 hours.
It's 100
Wait,
days.
2. Sorry, that's bad math. Either way, it's not 100 days, but it's a lot of fucking time.
It's a lot of time. And so here's my thing, right?
Bad
if I
math. Sorry,
wanna-
guys.
And this brings me ultimately to where my fundamental problems lie. I look at time like this. I could wake up at 9, shop, work, do everything that needs to be done for the house and for, life stability and everything. And let's say on a good day that takes me to 6, right? Because you wake up at 8, you would go to work from 9 to 5, leave work, do your shopping or whatever, come home, clean, and that's only if both those things take half an hour. You'd be done by 6. But you need to be you need to be in bed by 10 or 11.
That's 40 hours. That's not terrible, but still, 40 hours of straight content. Sorry, I did the math.
No, straight up though, that's a lot, but not a lot.
That's a
for me.
whole work week.
I mean, the last time I was able to binge all of One Piece, I was a high school student and it was summer vacation.
I mean, yeah. That's 2 days, but like still 2 straight days of
2 straight
binging.
days of just episode after episode. And I
But
don't
you'd
even
have to be
think-
on point. Just fucking next episode.
Right.
Go.
It would like skip every single opening, skip every single end credit. But like, so from 6 to 10, that's your only time to really do your own, like what fulfills your, like what, gets you ready for that next day. If I want to watch One Piece and play video games and, do whatever, Cass will probably be there while I watch anime or play video games. But like, do those 2 things, right? So that's 2 hours for each. That's 4 episodes of One Piece. And then maybe, I achieve something in a video game somewhere if I'm lucky.
That's my problem.
Like 10 days to get through the fucking thing. Like Steve said, 40 hours.
Yeah.
So that's why, this is why I can't watch anime anymore, and I'm really sad because House Paradise was one I wanted to get into,
Yeah.
but I multitask too much. It's just in my nature now.
Yeah.
Like working at a bar, all you do is multitask. Talking to someone while making a drink, while fucking also keeping track of 10 other orders I have to put down.
Yep.
I'm on my phone while I'm watching TV, and I'm trying to keep track of both. Can't do it anymore. So I just read on my phone. Just read with mangas. That's it. Can't do animes anymore. Unfortunate.
Like right.
Unless it's like a great series.
I mean, me
or
and
like-
Gazzy are at this point now where what we know we can do now is if we find a good audiobook, we'll play that and then play video. Yeah, we'll play the audiobook and play video games. But yeah, same thing with us. Whenever we watch TV, if we're not doing something else, then it's like, okay, then what are we doing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if we're purely watching TV, it has to be like something that is genuinely like enthralling us. But even with our favorite series, like we'll put it on and then you want to play TFT, you want to play Hearthstone or Magic or something like that because nothing. We can't devote our attention to one thing anymore because we want to pack as much enjoyment into those hours before Cassie has to go to bed as possible.
I've been trying to do so. I've been trying to keep my focus hyper in terms of like on one thing when I'm not working because I mean that's how you get short attention span.
Mm,
Right.
which
I think
do.
about that. I'm like, dude, if I have the TV on while I'm on my phone, like one of those is going to waste. I don't need the background noise. I really don't.
I like.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Like same with audiobooks. I couldn't do audiobooks anymore because if I was doing like it was during an activity. I'm not fully engaged into what the fuck's I'm listening to.
Yeah. Actually, I'll say this about that too. When I was it was this year. So like 2 years ago, I would be able to listen to an audiobook and work.
Yeah.
Now it's actually got to a point where it's like if I have an audiobook on, I'm not actually learning anything I need to know because my focus on is what I enjoy, and I'm just doing this to play off the fact that I'm clearly not
Yeah.
about this anymore. So I had to stop listening to anything. So when I work, I do work in silence. But like, it's like my attention span now is so small.
You know what made me really? I mean, I was always comfortable with silence, but what really made it like solidified it was SCVCA.
Mm-hmm.
Being in like I just felt like I was, dude. The isolation there was crazy.
It's so weird.
You're in a
like-
room by yourself. No one's even in the building.
Yeah.
No one's even in that building. In the building.
Right. No. He's right. Like that. You would walk in on a Friday. There would be maybe one person in the entire building.
You're the one unlocking the building.
Yeah.
The one guy that's in there is the mail guy.
Yeah.
And I don't even talk to him.
And he's only in there for like half an hour at best. Right? He'd show up, put the mail there. Or no, it was the person behind the mail boxes, right?
Yeah.
And so he'd show up. He'd be like, let me get this, put it in certain places. And then he'd be gone by maybe 10.
It was that, and then every now and then our bosses would come in, maybe for like an hour at the end of our shift.
Right. And it'd be completely silent. The lights wouldn't even be on. Like they've come in multiple times, just me in the dark scanning, doing the job, basically scanning documents, saving them into a database.
Yeah.
Right. And it would be like, you don't want to turn on the lights? And I was like, we have the window, I guess. But
yeah, super. I felt like I was like that bad. Where do they send bad prisoners?
What?
Solitary. I felt like I was in
yeah.
solitary confinement for a bit.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that.
It was a nice
it was
break.
Weird.
I liked it because it was like it took all the pressure off of needing to be as good as an employee as I could be. But that had its side effects, as you know.
I know. I caught you.
Only sleeping a couple times on the job.
Under the fucking desk.
They weren't coming in that day. I knew they weren't coming in. I'd be like, Anita, you need me to do anything before you come in? Oh, I'm not coming in today. Wait, do you need me to do anything before you come in? Oh, I'm not coming in that day.
It probably
Perfect.
did build a couple bad habits for me too, because like it became that thing where I got so done and ahead of everything, and they were just. It was one of those things. I did all my tasks so ahead. I'm like, what do you guys need me to do? They're like, you keep working on that document that we don't need anymore, or you could do homework. And I'm like, I'm done with both.
I never did my homework.
So I was just like, it was eerie. It was like you had to deal with your boredom.
I mean, but I mean, again, even when I worked at Cisco, when I would come in on the weekends and like stay there after hours and everything, I'd be there just in an empty office, just like gotta get work done. But then after a while, even at Cisco, I was just like, if nobody's here to really keep me on my shit or to like match what I'm doing,
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna go home.
I was just like perpetually in a state of entropy.
Yeah.
Just stillness, dude. It was that bad sometimes where you're just sitting still so much that like you just felt chaotic in nature. You were just like, I'm just sitting still, but like everything's going crazy within me. Like I need to do something. That was a lot.
I mean,
that took a lot out of me.
You
That's why
ever
I couldn't do those kind of jobs.
Do you ever wonder like how the people that currently do it go? You know what I mean? Like the people that genuinely work those jobs were like, this job doesn't need to be a job, but because it hasn't been automated or because it's been forgotten about, basically there's just people that show up to an office space and just sit there. Like I've seen a lot of stories about people that are like, they forgot to, when they were downsizing, to get rid of my position. So I sat here for about 2 years with no one to report to, no one to send my reports to, nobody to turn anything into, just completely by myself. And eventually,
Just collecting paychecks.
yeah. And then like there was a really funny one where like they eventually moved offices, so they had to look at what everything was moving. And the guy emailed him and was like, "You guys didn't tell me where my new assignment was and everything." They're all like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna hold on one second." And they got back to him a few days later, and they were like, "Yeah, here's where you're gonna be stationed, doing the exact same thing you do, reporting to the exact same people you report to." And
Yeah.
he was like, "All right, I quit."
Well, it's one of those things. Even businesses, big businesses, are running out of tasks for people to do. So people get done with their days, and this is speculation because obviously I don't work in these businesses. But it seems like, from what it sounds like, they get they need like maybe 3 hours of work.
Yeah.
That's as much as it takes them to do it. So people go about it differently. Some people power through it. I was the power through guy. Okay, I get it done in my first 3 hours. Now I'm just gonna twiddle my thumbs for the next 5. Right? And if they come into the room, I'm just gonna flip the screen so it looks like I'm doing something
Yeah.
that is work related.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're not there, or while eyes are not on me, I'm just gonna do what I wanted. Right? They didn't care. They probably knew that too.
Yeah.
But
Actually, we have a
it was this game. It became this game of like they know that we're fucking around. But when they step into the room, it's the respect that like, hey, it looks like we're working at least.
well, we have a friend, and he was telling me about how his father was working at this company, and so for the first year, right, they would give him his tasks, and he would and they were supposed to take probably 3 months to complete all of them. He'd complete them in one.
Yeah.
He'd give them, and they'd be like, "Oh, perfect! All right, here's your next level of task. Here's your next task."
Yeah.
And so he eventually kind of got into this whole thing where he's all like, "So I can just finish my tasks within 1 month, and then just
Wait to send them.
wait 2 months to send them,
Yeah.
and then be like done." And that's the thing now. Everywhere you go, people are doing that for everything. Like,
Yeah, because there's no incentive.
Right.
Right. What's the incentive of doing work early? If I'm not getting a bonus for it, if you're not incentivizing harder, like working harder, I don't care to work harder. I'm just gonna stay baseline.
Exactly.
That's
And
some white collar jobs in a nutshell where you're like, okay, I could get this done in a day, but they don't need it for 7. That's like what you taught yourself in school. You did it backwards though, where you're like, okay, they need this in 7 days, or like this project's due at the end of the year, and I have the whole year. It's not going to take a whole year.
right.
So let's start it when I need to. It's only going to take me a month to do this, or if you're writing that essay, it's only going to take me
Like-
2 full days.
Right.
So let's just fucking wait until those 2 days, right? At work, people I think have done it. I don't know, smarter, but like people who get ahead of it early just go, okay, I'll just do it now. Now I don't even have to worry about it or stress about it.
Mhm.
And when they need it, I'll send it. Or
Right.
when
Like-
it's closer to the deadline, send it in so I don't have to require.
Right. Like
more
I'll
work.
just set up this scheduling thing so that when this time hits, everything will be sent over.
And that's the beauty of again, that's why I like where I work, because I'm incentivized to work harder.
Yes.
Shows up in my pay.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. And like that's why, especially what I really want to see, I want to talk to somebody who's just like who's been where I am now, but like actually we're like with all this control over your very life and the time you spend on anything you want to do, right? I want to know what they did that propelled them into like a higher level. Because right now I'm at the point where I am trying to get a job. I've been applying and everything like that. But I want to know like if somebody kind of like had this and just went and I worked on this, and then after I was finished working on it, I sold it for like this much money, or like I found this passion or whatever. That's what I'm trying to figure out now, especially since I'm very close to having that diploma, is that I need to know where, because this is the biggest problem right now with me in terms of finding a job. I'm not specialized to any degree. So I go to a job and they're like, I go to an interview and they're like, so what's your experience with this, this, and this? And I go, the basic experience that you get from college, right? Like computer vision, right? I did like a small computer vision program that tracked small objects moving rapidly. That's all I did, right? I could be like, I have that experience, but but they're looking for somebody that's like, I did this project that took me into computer vision, and now I just work on projects in computer vision because that's my passion, or like that's where I'm specializing, like quantum computing or AI and stuff like that, right? Like there's if I specialized in something that actually was if I basically specialize in something, I'm guaranteed a job. Because now they're not looking at me like, oh, he's a college student that went for computer science. They're looking at me as a guy who knows what I'm doing, but I don't have any passion or direction.
Sometimes with specialization though, if that like one aspect dries up, or if there's two, if it gets oversaturated, you kind of get fucked instead of kind of being like, someone who kind of do a little bit of everything, where they can just plug you into something like, oh, this project's gonna get like dropped, but you know how to do certain things, so we're gonna put you on this thing.
Yeah, but like think about it. Like think about like Goku, right? Like Goku could do anything any other fighter could ever do. You know what I mean? He can learn it. Instant transmission, the Kamehameha, all those things, right? Kaioken, he could do all those things, but like we know his main thing is going Super Saiyan, right? So he can depend on Kaioken, he can depend on the Kamehameha or the Spirit Bomb or use instant translation, but his main thing is he's gonna go Super Saiyan, he's gonna kick ass. That's what I need. I need to find my Super Saiyan while still being able to do, Kaioken and Spirit Bomb and everything. I don't have that. I have Spirit Bomb. I have all those little things. Whereas, like, if you came to me tomorrow, it was like, Kendall, you got free time, right? Look into this, see what you can build. I'd be like, yeah, sure, okay. In about a couple weeks, I'd be like, this is what I found, this is what I have, right? I could do that, but it would be better if I was like, hey, I like this. I've been working on this. Look at this amazing thing that I've poured my very soul into building for you.
Make that your own, though. Here's the thing, and this is again speculation here, but Alex Honnold, he is this guy who went into a job field, white collar, was making six figures, and I guarantee you, in that job, he was getting ahead of his shit. And the time that he had in that, like while he was still at work, done with all of his tasks, bet you he was going, "Can I make climbing a living?" And he probably rationalized it and made a plan so like watertight enough, an outline watertight enough for him to go, now's the starting point. I can leave this job now and I could start this van life and I could start just traveling and climbing. Guess what? They made like 3 different National Geographic movies of him free soloing, right? And he made it a living.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, I'm guessing, probably did the same shit, right? Worked a white collar job, really good salary. And I guarantee you, when the time that he wasn't working, but he had to be at work or in work mode, he was going, I wonder if selling books online is the idea.
Actually.
And the moment he hit that fucking go mode, right? It's like a speed run, right? Like once he hits go mode, then he goes, okay, I'm off this job. Now it's time to go in. Because he wasn't uncertain about his success. So obviously he had to have some form of plan. There was no delusion in his, obviously not, because look at Amazon now.
Yeah.
But he probably went, no, I can see how this can grow and this can grow and this can grow. And I have the financial I have the financial holding to support that to where it gets on its own legs, and I'd never need to work. I never need to work for someone else a day in my life again.
Yeah, but like that's exactly what I'm basically saying. Like that's their Super Saiyan that they spend all this time and everything. But before he could get there, he had to learn Kaioken.
You had to learn how to survive. You still need to.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: you learn to master survival. Then you can start thrival. I feel like for you, you need to first get a job, maintain a financial. It becomes one of those things. Turn your lifestyle, turn the job that you're going to work yourself into. If you're going the route, because like you're speaking on projects like you want to go entrepreneurship in that role.
Yeah.
If that's the case, or even just making different projects to get you in the field specific for what you want to study, you have to, I would say, get a job first. And then get whatever money you could save, start looking at it as being able to invest that in terms of livelihood so you can go all in on a project, right? Because that was it. They just planned it so well that it got to this point where they're like, all right, if I start it in 2 years from this starting job right now and I save the way I do, then I could start my business and I will know it's gonna fucking hit.
Yeah.
And both of them are right. That Alex Honnold is I think still currently just roaming around the country, the world, just climbing fucking mountains.
And Jeff Bezos is alive. Yes.
And Jeff Bezos is where he's at with Amazon.
Yes.
His
Steve Jobs is the one
business.
that's dead.
yes.
Yes.
Alex Honnold's just a climber.
Yeah.
But that's what he wanted to do for his life. He was like, I just want to go around the country in my van and just climb forever. Cool.
I don't know what I want to do just yet.
So
gonna
while
just-
you're working and saving up for it, and this is where timing usually works in your favor if you work incessantly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things where timing doesn't even matter anymore because you decide when you want to time it. You know what I mean? At that point.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even want, like, I'm in that pickle right now where I'm like, what do I want to stay in this industry? Do I want to, and that's what it's looking like for me right now. It's like I want to keep climbing this vertical building of my industry that I'm in. At the same time, if I see something else, I will take all that investment and just reinvest into that. I just haven't figured it out yet, so might as well just keep working my ass off and just keep stacking the money. So when I get to that point where I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the idea. Go mode. Let's go. Throw my money at it. Here you go.
I mean, I'm gonna try that again. So I hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna try to create a plan after this, and we'll think, and I'll update you as I do. But like, we're in the same boat in terms of like where looking at our current level of life. It's just you are very much like you have the ability now to go, all right, I made all these investments. I can take that investment, I can put it here and be fine, right? And I'm at the point where it's like I need to start building the foundations to grow my investments and then be able to, diversify that portfolio.
Trust me, I'm still in foundation work. Because that's the hard,
If
dude.
you're still in foundation work, how am I supposed to fucking deal with that?
Because the
bullshit?
foundation, it's one of those things. Like building a house, right? The thing that you need to make sure is fucking A1 is the foundation.
Right. But like,
You and I are not building the same size house, my friend.
I don't know. Is your house bigger or smaller than my house? Because I at least want to be building the same size house as you. At least. You know what I mean? I'm trying. If you're going for a mansion, I'm trying to go for a mansion.
Sure.
But like, I don't
Yeah, and
wanna-
then here's the thing. You could go for a mansion, and the foundation doesn't have to be amazing, but that has a lot of risk.
right.
So I'm...
But that's why I'm saying, like, I'm looking at you and you're saying you're still building your foundations, right? If you're still building your foundations, and I'm starting with just not even like flat dirt, like I'm starting on like grassy hills, like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, guess what?
What?
I'm not building a mansion.
Why? That's my question. Then why aren't you building a mansion?
Because I'm trying to build an empire.
Then if you're trying to build an empire, guess what, motherfucker? I'm trying to build an empire.
You better fucking get started then, son.
I know, but that's again, Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Building.
Because then we'll find out if you are really plot armor or if you can just fucking get your head out of like fucking
If
nose straight to the
Right.
grindstone.
Because I can't be plot armor forever.
Because I think it's one of those things. Like it's like you either believe everything's a miracle or nothing is, and you are everything is a miracle, and I am nothing's a miracle.
Right. You are definitely nothing's a miracle. Because again, I know you work for every single thing you have in your life. And I'm over here like, shit. Like, I feel bad, but not really. I love this. I kind of love this part of me. Where like, like the I don't know, it's like Grand Theft Auto where it's like, shit, here we go again. Like, that's me every time I have to do anything that requires remotely any effort.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I am very aloof and just, like da-da-da-da-da throughout life. Because even though I am a very aloof and la-di-da-di-da, right? If y'all need me for anything, right? I could do it. I'm there,
Yeah.
right? But that's because, again, like when y'all are like, Kendall, this needs to be, y'all never like that, by the way. Like, I don't think you guys have ever come up to me and be like, Kendall, 3 weeks, Friday, I need you with everything you got. Right? You guys are never like that. You guys are at best like, Kendall, tomorrow, please, just don't fuck up. Like, But like I love the fact that I'm very aloof towards all of life's greatest challenges because every time one of life's greatest challenges shows up to me and I fucking work at it and fucking get past it, I come out of it and I'm never like, well, sometimes I will say sometimes I am like, that's a dog in me. Like most of the time I come off like, and I fucking got it. I don't know how or why, but it's here and it's done. Like,
You another anime reference, but like if this was Black Clover, you would be Yuno and I'd be Austin.
I would be.
You'd be the one that's just gifted with all these magical abilities.
Because literally, I know, and I say this as humbly as I possibly can. Life did very much come at me, going like, Kendall, here you go.
Here's the handicap.
Here's a 4-leaf clover. Thank you. And he goes, and then later on, life kind of came at me. It was like, hey, how's that 4-leaf clover working out for you? Because if the 4-leaf clover are my parents and my friends and family, I yes. Like I was like here's all the safety net and support and love and help any person on the planet would ever need to be as successful as ever they wanted to become, right? And then it was like, oh, and here's your Spade Kingdom book.
Yeah, here's another book.
Right, which would be Cassie and like her whole family coming at me like, we're here to also love and support you and help you in everything you want to. Like, I am, and you are awesome. Where life basically was like, Steve, welcome to the world where everybody's a mage. Go fuck yourself. And then you're like, you know what? No, I'm not settling for this shit.
What's this book? This is my book now.
Not even that. You're like, fine, whatever. I don't need magic. I've never needed magic, right? Hey, you fucking with my friend. go fuck him up. And then the world is like, all right. I see you drive. Here is a heavy ass sword. That's all they did. That's all they gave you. One book with one sword inside of it. Congratulations.
What magic spell can I cast on this guy? Here's a sword.
Right.
All right.
The ability to,
dude, thank God, pull swords out of books. Let's go.
And if Maasa has like anti-magic in that sword, your ability was self-actualization. That's all that is. It was like, here's a sword. What does it do? Well, whenever you need to conquer your demons, it basically matches your vibe.
Yeah.
Like that's all it did. And I'm over here like, yes. What do I need to do? You need to pass college. That's all you need to do. Perfect. I will show up and just do my thing. And
I'm like, how do I fucking... I could beat this guy if I just knew how to if I could just beat his magic. Oh, what's this sword do? Beat the fucking magic, dude. Come on, please. Please.
I will say that is something you do better than anybody. Because you could, any person in the world could step into your bar and sit across from you and you would be right there. You know what I mean? Like fucking Jeff Bezos could walk into your bar and you'd be like, okay. Psychologically, I'm where you're at. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't have the billions or the business or whatever, but like I understand it.
Knight to E4 and we're playing.
Right. Exactly. And I'm over here like, well, I will overcomplicate and overprepare for everything possible ever because I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then when I do have to challenge this person, I'm coming up with like basically an arsenal. And they're like, oh wow, this guy basically came with it. Like, cause that's how Yuno fights, right? He shows up and he's all like, who are you? A demon? Well then, I throw 4-leaf clover magic, star magic, my wind spirit out of nowhere, right? Like and everything. Like, and I have it all. And like I'm basically just overpowered as shit because that's who I am as a person. Because if anything, like the DUI, for example, right? Most people I know who got a DUI at that age were like, I had to go to the public defender and I had to, take whatever the plea bargain was and, hope get it expunged from my record in years later or whatever.
The consequences are light with you.
Right. I got a
Compared to what you
DUI.
usually
I got a
get.
DUI. My mom was all like, you need a lawyer. I was like, I can't afford a lawyer. All right, good. I know the ins and outs of the college system like the back of my hand. You go in here, you ask for your student loans, you get that. You take those student loans, you pay for your lawyer. They're like, okay, cool. Great. Now that you've paid for your lawyer, go get a job. That job, my dad was like, how did I pay for that lawyer? What did I do? Oh, no, I just pulled it out of like student funds, I think. I don't think I used student loans to pay for it. Did I? I don't remember. Either way, I paid for it, and that $3,000 for the lawyer was like, I don't even know. Like, literally, look at me. Like, I don't even know how I paid that back. All I know is I don't have to worry about losing that $3,000 wherever it went. I crashed my car. That's what it was. I crashed my car. Most people would be like, I totaled my car. I don't know. I'm gonna repair it. I'm gonna have to take the bus and the train to get to where I need to be. Mom was like, go to the answer, pull out your student loans. Did that. Paid off. Fixed my car. Good. My dad was like, now come work with me and get a job at Cisco. And I was like, okay. And Cisco was like, here's your signing bonus of the $3,000 you use to repair your car. Perfect. Take that money. My student loans at Tianza paid off instantly. And the DUI thing, my mom, I think, went into like my 529 plan and just pulled that money out and was like, you can get a lawyer. But that was just one option. Cassie's grandparents were like, you need a lawyer? We'll pay for that lawyer, but you're gonna have to pay us back later on in life. You can pay us in installments, increments, whatever you want to do, but you're gonna have to pay us back. And that was, like most people in those situations are like, I don't have anybody in my life that's gonna be able to. And I'm sorry to say this, like if that were you, right, your family would have been like, Steve, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, that's literally how it'd go, dude. They'd be like, well, you fucking did this to yourself, so fucking figure it out.
Right. With me, people are everyone in my life, like even y'all were like, listen, I have family that's been through this. We can get you counseling. We can get you some sort of plan figured out. And that's just y'all, right? My family were like, we'll figure out the money later. Get the lawyer now, right? And then even the judge and the lawyer were just like, your record doesn't show that you're actually a criminal to any degree, so we're going to give you the lightest sentence physically possible for what this is. And the DMV was like, yeah, honestly, you barely, because again, I didn't blow 0.0. I didn't blow the requirement, right? So the DMV was like, we're not taking away your license or anything. You're good, bro. As far as the DMV is concerned, you didn't do shit. And then the judge was like, what is he yet to complete? Like, I showed up to that court date and they were like, wait, so he's just here because he's forgetful and a dumbass? And everybody in that room was like, yes, Your Honor. He forgot to turn in that one form that confirmed he finished that class we asked him to take. And he goes, and they looked at it and they're like, but he submitted it now. They're like, yes, he submitted it this morning as he arrived to court, he submitted it. And they're like, the judge just rolled her eyes and was like, has he done anything else? Sheriff's Weekend, Your Honor. No, like really, anything else? No. Fucking. Here's your plot armor. You're done. You're done with the court system. Get the fuck out. Come back in October to get your record expunged. October came and went. My mom called, Kendall, go down to the courthouse, submit those forms so we can get your insurance figured out. Like, genuinely, I lived the life of a plot armor. Like, there's never been a black man that was meant to be born as a blue-eyed, blonde, white lady ever in the history of the world. Like, I was born as a black man, but my life is meant to be, daddy's little princess. No, that's a fact. That's a fact, video. Don't even try to pretend.
Here's the thing, and I always articulate it as this way because, like, if I ever got caught in that situation, because I never would.
No,
I have to state that.
You're very much.
Never would.
You never would.
But if I ever did, literally just be like, it wouldn't be who can I pay. It's all right. Time to lawyer up.
Right. It was like time to figure out my shits.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need to go. Like, I genuinely.
Let me take the bar exam real quick. All right, we got this.
I will say this, though. For the DUI, another thing, though, is I don't have, because of the way my life is set up, like, because of all that plot armor, right? It's kind of inhibited my ability to, like, do things.
Yeah.
Like, when I did get the DUI, it was, like, only maybe, the next day. Like, I literally got out of the holding, of, like, that 8-hour holding.
Yeah.
And my family was like, you need to look into lawyers. And so I was like, okay, well, let's look at, I called a few lawyers. I got the price and I was like, well, I wasn't sure anybody was going to help me pay. So I was like, well, I might need to look into public defenders and everything. Before I even got a chance to look into what a public defender or even speak to a public defender, my family was like, no, here's the money. Get yourself a fucking lawyer. And I was like, okay. Right. So like, giving the space, I'm just slower than you guys. Like, you would have been literally out of that thing. You would have taken a nap. You would have woken up. You would have been like calling lawyers left and right, and then you would have figured out what your plan was.
Yeah, like I just don't get caught in those situations.
You would never. You would never.
Honestly, I'd probably take it upon myself. Like I said, I probably would just be like, how can I? Let's
Let me
read the.
figure out how I can solve my
Let
own
me
issue.
read these books. I don't trust. I have trust issues, dude. I have hard trust issues
You do.
where I'm like, I don't think I could trust this lawyer to do what I think I need him to do. I could do it better. Let me just dedicate, and that'd be me. I'd be like, let me just dedicate 2 weeks straight to see what I need to fucking do to make sure that this guy does not fuck me over.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, figured it out. Done. Boom. You know.
That was not me at all. I was like, originally, again, I knew my case was solid because all the facts show that I actually was fine. And the worst that they could get me on was hitting the curb when I tried to pull in and like make sure I was level with the curb. Right?
Yeah.
That was the worst they could get me with. So that's why they got me with the reckless driving.
See, the only time I really had to like get into that lawyer the fuck up mode, not even by a lawyer, but I was like ready to make state my arguments. Everyone was like, I wouldn't say on my side, but my circumstances were so just dumb that they were like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So like, and I'll elaborate a little bit. I had a minor in conception 6 days before my birthday.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So like I had to go through a trial. I had to go through a court case, and even the judges, they looked at the thing, and I'm like, Your Honor, I'm 21 right now, and they're like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So I even had to go to like, because this was while I was going to school in Arizona State. Even they were just like I had to talk to the dean because of this incident. They're like, hey, what's the deal? I'm like, guy, you're talking to me, and I'm 21 now.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's dumb. Go through your class and get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, even the guy I had to go to the class with, he's like talking to all these 19, 17, all these underage kids. Like, you guys have so much life ahead of you. You don't want to get caught doing this stupid shit. Wait. And I'm like, guy, I'm 21 right now. He's like,
why are you here?
he's like, you're irrelevant. Like, I don't care about your situation. You don't exist in this classroom right now. Just sit through the hours. All right. He'd literally go to each kid. He's like, what do you want to do with your life? They're like, I want to be a lawyer. What about you, a doctor? And you? He's like, I want to own a business. And he looked at me and he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, valid. You're 21.
Right.
Who cares?
You're fine.
You shouldn't even be in here right now.
No, but that's the same thing with my class. I showed up and they're all like, so you're here for the next 3 months, right? I was like, no, I'm here for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I only got 8 hours. And he was like, we have an 8-hour thing? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, I've never met anyone who had to take this class that only had to take the bare minimum 8 hours. And he was like, and how was and why were you drinking that night? And he goes, oh, I was just out with some friends. And he goes, and why did you decide to drive after that? I was like, because I was actually sober and I only blew a .07. He goes, moving on.
Yeah. They literally were just like, what the
like he genuinely was like and everybody else was like, I was like, why were you drinking? Well, it was the anniversary of my son's suicide and I was very emotional. Why were you drinking? Oh, I was just rolling with the wrong crowd and nobody had my back like I thought they were. Why were you drinking? Oh, I just went through a very bad, divorce or something like that. Me. Just sit there and don't talk. You're here for 8. I'm not even gonna learn your name.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Like everybody else there was there for the next 3 months. I was there for 4 weeks, right? And then he was just like, "Cool, get the fuck out of my face. Make sure you turn in that form." And I never did.
I'm that guy they had to make it. Like, we're those guys they have to make examples of just because, like, you technically broke the law. So
Right.
So just play along. Just play along.
Just do the due diligence and pretend like this is really gonna affect you. Like, honestly. But like that's that's been my entire life. Like, things almost really affect me. And then it's just like everybody in my life just comes in and they're like, it's like a bomb going off, and then they're just using the force to like shrink it back down. And they're like, okay, and then it's a firecracker.
Yeah.
And then it's like, there's your life. All right. Next time, and they'll yell, like, the people in my life will get on my shit, right? Like, they'll be the ones that are like, how, motherfucker, like, you can't be doing this. You got so many opportunities. You got so many things ahead of you. What the fuck, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then the real life will come at me, and they're all like, did your family already give you shit for this? Yes. They're like, good. That's your door.
See,
See all the way out.
And there's a difference between our circumstances. Even my family was like, "That's stupid." I'm like, "I know. Like, come on now, dude."
Well, but like your family looks at you and they understand that there's a person here that is very on top of anything that could come up in your life, right? My family, even you guys, look at me and they're all like Kendall, Kendall, please, all right. This shouldn't be something you should fuck up on, but like you know me, I have the miraculous ability to take something that even if y'all fucked up on it, it would be nothing. But if I fucked up on it, it's like if we're going on a journey. Have you seen that video where it's like I was on my way to the kitchen and I ended up in the ninth circle of hell? like they're like, you ended up in the demon realm because you were on your way to the kitchen, and he goes, I am not bright. That's me though. Like I have that weirdly, but it goes both ways, right? Something that really most people would go is like, here's this thing, and they'd be like, great. I could go and I'd be like, I didn't know how good or bad this was supposed to be, so I built like genuinely not Mount Everest, but like what's that place with all the presidents' heads?
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore was like, so I built Mount Rushmore when I was supposed to build a baking soda volcano. Like
You'd
those are
be
my
the
two
guy where if
extremes.
you had your own country, another country's like, we're sending our envoy, and you're like, what the fuck's an envoy? Guys,
Right.
prepare for war. We're
Right.
sending an envoy.
honestly,
And it's just a messenger that's like, hey, we just want to make friends with you. And you're like, guys, put your shields away.
Right.
Spears down, guys. Guys, spears down.
Right.
He's just a messenger.
he's just here to give us a
Why
message.
didn't anyone tell me what an envoy was?
no, but that's it. But I'd still be in control, right? I'd still be in charge, but I'd have no right to be in charge. I don't know what an envoy is. An ambassador? The fuck is that? What are they bassing up in this bitch?
Yeah.
Right? I want to know what this bass
Guys, they're building a super bomb.
Right.
Ambassador. It's called the ambassador.
Right.
Prepare the walls. Guy comes by like, dude, here's some flowers. Where's the bomb? Guys, put shields down.
Right.
Guys, walls down.
They did not, in fact, bring their nuclear football.
Stop the construction.
Like
Go
Obama-
paint.
Obamacare shows up. Who is this Obama? And why does he care so much? This doesn't affect you at all. This is an American thing. Yeah? Yeah? Then why is he caring about shit, huh? Why does he care what I'm fucking around with? Like, but on the other extreme of that, it's also like, oh, Kendall, we're going to send the destroyer. Oh, thank God. We were hoping somebody would destroy this pollution problem. Like that's just but that's the thing I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are very much in that scenario where they're like they're fine in life, but they have like literally just their pinky on the wheel and they're just
That is you, Kendall. You are that guy that's like, someone comes up to you and they're just like, Jack the Ripper's been terrorizing your streets, man. Like, thank God, dude. Someone's pulling the weeds out of the streets.
Right.
Ugh.
Like
Someone pay that, man.
Right, like somebody should be ripping these weeds out the ground. Like I don't know why nobody thought about this as a plan. He's a social justice warrior.
No, he's a serial killer. Well, I mean, I don't like all the serials out
Right.
here, but like,
But somebody needs
But
to
I
fuck up
guess.
Captain Crunch.
I was gonna say, but there's a lot of brands out there, so
Right.
valid.
Right. And for those people, they need you guys. They need to hear, like, they need people in their life, and I'm lucky enough to have those people in my life. Like, at least, like, you and Austin, and basically just my friends are very much like, we're not going to put our hand on the fucking wheel just because you refuse to. We're going to tell you to put your hand on the wheel, and if you crash and burn, we'll be here to pull you from the ashes. But I don't know. Like we'll see. Like again, these next few weeks for me will really define where I'm headed in terms of like success or failure.
In
and
terms
we'll see
of
where it goes.
Empire or
Right. In terms of empire or village on the outskirts. But on that note, it's your boy Waffles.
welcome back, by the way. I know
Yes.
we took a hard break.
Welcome back. I hope you learned something from hearing about our life and our experiences today, because you know when you're in that weird age of 20 to 30 and basically the world is asking you to figure out where you're taking your life, these are the things you really got to think about.
We
Like,
do
how
have time,
much
though. That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
what you got to realize.
you
We have
do
time.
you do have a solid decade.
But don't sit on that idea, but when you do, time just like decides to not want to be your friend.
I'd say that 20 to 30 range is
Figuring it
like,
out.
it's honestly like you came out at 18, like you said earlier, like you're at the reverse of like how you should be managing your time, where like you spend all the beginning doing what you want.
You have the fun first, and then you do the responsibility afterwards.
And that 20 to 30 year range is where it's like basically you need to hit the brakes into a Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Because you need to start doing it the opposite.
You were driving backwards this whole time.
right, and now you need to start driving like a regular person.
Yeah.
But with that, take these encouraging words with you throughout your everyday life.
Announcement. As you notice, we are in a different setting.
Yes.
We might change it up. So stay tuned with us. This is the start of a new season.
Right. And the start of a new lifestyle. For
And a new
yours
me.
truly. And a new me for everything that is going forward. And you'll be here to witness it all.
But stay tuned. More coming at you.
Yes.
Here on Couch
We
Surfing.
might get a little experimental. Who knows?
Peace.
Peace.